You finally got the money you wanted. So why does it feel worse? The bank account grew. Somehow your sleep and your friends shrank. Everyone chases wealth. Almost nobody is warned about what it costs. Stay to the end. The real enemy is not who you think. Hey, my name is Sargon, and behind this skull is somebody who has watched a lot of people get exactly what they wished for, and quietly fall apart afterward. We are told that more money fixes everything. Nobody mentions the new set of problems that arrives the moment your wealth starts growing for real. Today, we are going to walk through those problems, one by one, the way nobody warned you. Start with the first trap, the one that hides inside good news, lifestyle creep. Every raise quietly raises your spending to match. A bigger house, a newer car, better everything. It explains a brutal paradox in the data. The U.S. personal savings rate has slipped to around 4%, even as incomes climbed for years. People earn more and somehow keep less. The treadmill just speeds up underneath them. And the cruel part is that the goalposts move with you. Researchers who track happiness found something humbling. For the people who are already unhappy, more income stops helping at around $100,000 a year. Past that line, the misery just stays put. The money grows, but the feeling you were chasing does not. So you chase harder, and it runs faster. There is a clinical name for what hits people when wealth arrives fast: sudden wealth syndrome. Psychologists describe a real cluster of symptoms: spikes in anxiety, panic attacks, guilt, insomnia, and obsessive money ruminations that hijack daily life. It is not weakness. It is the nervous system of a normal person trying to absorb a life that changed faster than the mind can follow. Then comes the problem nobody likes to admit out loud. The people around you change. The moment word gets out that you have money, the way friends and even family look at you shifts. Old jokes get careful. Invitations come with a quiet ask attached. You start wondering, behind every warm hello, whether they are happy to see you or happy to see your wallet. This isolation is one of the core symptoms experts list. Wealth becomes a wedge. Jealousy, resentment, and change dynamics push people away or pull them in for the wrong reasons. The data on lottery winners is grim. Many report relatives pressuring them for money almost immediately. The richer you look, the harder it gets to know who is actually in the room for you. Here is a problem that sounds like a joke until it happens to you. Choice becomes paralysis. When you had little, decisions were simple because there were no options. Now, every dollar comes with a fork. Invest it, save it, give it, spend it. Wealth psychologists actually warn about decision paralysis, where the fear of one wrong move freezes you completely and the money just sits there, doing nothing. And the bigger the pile, the heavier each decision gets, because taxes enter the picture. Sell an asset and capital gains take a bite. Pass money to family and gift rules apply. In 2026, the lifetime gift and estate exemption sits at $15 million per person. Generous, but the cliff beyond it is steep. Suddenly you are not just earning money, you are managing a small, taxable institution. Now let me hit you with a number that should not be possible. Studies have found that around 78% of former NFL players face financial stress or bankruptcy within just 2 years of retiring. About 60% of former NBA players are broke within 5. These are people who earned millions. If raw income alone protected you, that could never happen. But it does, constantly. The athlete's story exposes the real mechanism. The money arrived fast, but the financial skill to hold it never did. A study of Florida lottery winners found that those who won $50,000 to $150,000 were just as likely, sometimes more likely, to file for bankruptcy within 5 years as people who won almost nothing. The windfall did not fix the gap. It widened it. So if you build real wealth, Eventually, you face the final boss, passing it on. And this is where the biggest fortunes quietly break. We are living through the largest wealth transfer in history, an estimated $124 trillion set to change hands by 2048. You would think that much money would secure families forever. It does the opposite more often than anyone admits. Look at who actually inherits, and the cracks show. 1 in 3 millennials and Gen Z say they are not prepared to manage what they will inherit. Heirs get hit with property taxes, legal fees, and maintenance that can swallow the gift whole. Planners watch families sell, in a panic, the very assets their parents spent 40 years building. The money outlived the knowledge of how to keep it. And it is not only the money that tears families apart, it is the silence. A major 2026 study of ultra-wealthy families found their single biggest threat to passing wealth on was not a market crash or a tax mistake. It was communication breakdown. Relatives who never learned to talk about money until a death or a crisis forced the conversation far too late. The numbers are striking. In that study, communication breakdown was the #1 source of family conflict, named by a third of respondents, ahead of fights over spending or fairness. Nearly half of heirs said the previous generation did no structured handoff at all. They inherited not just assets, but confusion. The fortune was there. The instruction manual was missing entirely. Now, layer on a fear that never fully leaves the wealthy, losing it all. Strangely, the more you have, the louder this fear gets. People who clawed their way up from nothing live with a quiet dread of sliding back. Experts call it a core feature of sudden wealth. Financial security itself becomes a source of anxiety, because now there is so much further to fall. And this fear quietly distorts behavior. Some hoard, terrified to spend a cent, trapped by the scarcity mindset they thought money would cure. Others overspend wildly, trying to outrun the anxiety with possessions. The Harvard study that tracked lives for over 80 years keeps reaching the same conclusion. Past a point, it is not money that keeps people well. It is relationships, the exact thing wealth quietly strains. So here is the riddle from the start, finally solved. The real enemy was never the taxes, the leeches, or even the money itself. The real enemy is the person you were before the money came. Your old identity, your old habits, your old relationship with fear. Wealth does not erase any of it. It magnifies it. The money simply hands a megaphone to whoever you already were. That is why the same fortune saves one person and destroys another. Money is an amplifier, not a cure. Hand it to someone with discipline, calm, and clear values, and it buys them freedom and time. Hand it to someone running from insecurity, and it buys them faster, more expensive ways to stay miserable. The check is identical. The person cashing it is everything. Once you understand that, the whole game changes. You stop asking only how to make more, and start asking who you need to become to hold it. Can I build the skill before the windfall arrives? Can I keep real friends close as the numbers grow? Can I make calm decisions when every option is suddenly open? Answer those, and wealth becomes a tool instead of a trap. So, before you chase the next zero on your net worth, ask one question that changes everything. Am I building the person who can carry this, or just the pile? Because the pile arrives on its own schedule. The character to hold it has to be built on purpose, in advance, long before the money ever shows up to test whether you really did the work. So let us bring it home. The real problems of growing wealth are almost never the ones in the brochure. It is the lifestyle that creeps, the fear that grows louder, the friends who blur, the decisions that freeze you, the taxes, the heirs, and the silence that breaks families. The money was supposed to protect. None of it lives in your bank account. All of it lives in you. Wealth is a mirror with the brightness turned all the way up. It shows you exactly who you already were, in high definition. Here is my honest send-off. Money will not turn you into a different person. It will just buy that person much better lighting. If this made you think about the work before the windfall, do me one small favor. Subscribe. I am Sargon. Build the person first, let the money come second, and I will see you in the next one.